In that deep, powerful, and incredible book, the Gospel of John, Jesus says these words in chapter 13, verses 34 and 35. A new command I give you, love one another. Wow, 3 words. As I have loved you, a comparative again, so you must love one another. And by this, all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. See, the love Jesus is talking about is often the hardest love to live out. Does he mean that we should expect to feel warm and soft feelings for everyone all the time? No, that's not what's being said here. Because sometimes we feel love towards others, but those times when we don't feel love towards them, we still need to be loving, to be loving. So one early church theologian named Tertullian, he lived in 155 to 220 AD. He wrote his observations of Christians. He was sent to investigate these Christians and all their behavior because some thought it was a threat to the way Rome governed. What are these Christians up to, basically? Here's what he said, and I quote this. These Christians are very strange people. They meet together in an empty room to worship, and they don't have an image. They speak of one by the name of Jesus, who's absent, but whom they seem to be expecting at any time. And catch this, and my, how they love him and how they love each other. How they love him and how they love each other. This man is writing his observations. And you know, the idea at the end of a sentence like this is often the real meaning of the paragraph. It's about love. So I'm going to suggest some ways we can love each other. It's not an exhaustive list. There's far more ways, and you have your own ideas and ways that you use. But these are ways that we can do things that love others and model what Jesus taught us. Because remember, it says, as I've loved you. So he showed people. And then it was written how we can love others so that they will know we're disciples of him. And you see, we could memorize the Bible, we can go to church and we can tithe, but be unloving towards others, it happens, and they won't know we're a true disciple. It's the love that makes it work. So here's some ways to consider. Love is a decision. We decide to adopt a loving attitude, and then we resolve to keep it. No matter what happens, we decide and we resolve to keep it. Second, we all send signals to people all the time, every day. We always do. You may think you don't, but you do. People study this. So choose warmer signals. Choose smiles. Choose a more engaging, interactive behavior. And that will project to other people an openness that may draw them in, that the Lord may use. Number 3, search for ways to serve others. See, when you look at others around you, even a cursory glance or a long kind of a examination, look for ways that you can see what they need. See if you can meet that need. That's love. 4th, intentionally speak with others who are different from you. Folks you might ordinarily shy away from. I went on a 2-hour, 12-minute walk this morning from where I live near the church all the way down to Monterey and back. Ran into a number of folks that I kind of could tell were homeless. And when you say good morning and then stop and ask them a few questions, you know what? They want to tell you a story. They're used to people not being interested in them. They're different from me. But we're both creation of the living God. So ask them. Talk to people that aren't your norm. Next, if someone wants to share, be open and ready to offer them a good listening to. Give them a good listening to. Learn about who they are. Hear their story. Everyone has a story, like I mentioned before. Next, and then ask them if there's anything you can pray for. We teach that in organic outreach. And you know what? Rarely will anyone turn down an offer to pray? It's not a big formal, get on your knees in the middle of the sidewalk in front of the store. It's a casual prayer done heartfelt in the moment. 7, initiate. I've said this in other messages, and it's true about here as well. Initiate. Remember the points rule of active caring. Initiating makes the statement clearer than any other way. When you initiate, people don't have to wonder if you mean it, wonder if you really believe it, wonder why you're doing it. And you're not answering a question. You're just putting it out there. It's powerful. And remember this. We love because he first loved us. Read 1 John chapter 4, verse 19. We are built by our Father to respond to love, to the initiation of love. He initiated. We responded. Jesus says, love as I've done you. So you see, we're receiving our instructions on how to love others, aren't we? So if you're already on board with this one another, great. If not, and you're watching this message, when should you start? How about right now? Let's get on it.